everyone, today I'm going to make Horlicks or Maltesers malted milk ice cream using my little ice cream maker. As you can see, it already has its freezing unit connected so that I don't need to put the container inside the freezer. So this is very handy. You can make ice cream anytime you feel like making ice cream. So here I've put in 5 teaspoons of Horlicks milk powder and melted it with hot milk and added around 1 1/8 cup of milk to make sure it's diluted. Next, I have here some Maltesers. So I'm going to take some and mash them bit by bit so that I can add them to my ice cream mix. Just do it carefully. Yep. See? Make sure you use a mortar and pestle that's clean and doesn't have any foreign ingredients. So I like to use a different mortar and pestle for garlic, and this is a different one for desserts because you don't want any garlicky flavor mixed into your ice cream, right? So make sure that's blended well. This is fine, just a rough mashing will do, so that if you like having little bits that you can chew on your ice cream, this is good. Then I'm going to take my Everwhip. This is a Korean brand of whipping cream. Okay, so it has around 27 grams of fat. I'm going to put in, so for a recipe good for 1 pint of ice cream, I will put half a cup of this whipping cream. So you can see that my whipping cream is a bit thick. It's gonna thicken up even more when the ice cream sets. So this is the size of my ice cream maker. It's good for 1 pint of ice cream. I'm gonna pour that in. Nice and thick. Okay, I'm gonna get more of that later. Okay, so this is my whipping cream. I've added it. So as I mentioned, this ice cream maker is good for 1 pint. My whipping cream is already slightly sweet, so I don't need to add a lot of sugar to my recipe. And this is my Horlicks or malted milk mixed with milk. Okay. Now I'm gonna use a spatula to mix those in. Okay. Make sure that you use a silicone or rubber spatula so that you don't damage the lining of or the surface of your ice cream maker. So you're just gonna melt it, or you're just gonna mix it a bit. So it's good if you have a plate or a saucer, or you can put your stuff nearby so that you avoid making a mess. Okay. To this, I will gradually add maybe a bit of sugar. Or maybe I'll just pass on the sugar, sorry, because the Horlicks or the malted milk is already sweet. I'll put in the bits of chocolate that I mashed. So this is the Maltesers. Yum, yum, yum. Don't worry about the size too much. I purposely made them uneven so that I can get some chocolate bits when I eat the ice cream. So don't worry about it. So there you have it. And then give it a little mix. Don't worry, the ice cream maker is gonna mix it up anyway, so you don't really have to mix it a lot. Okay. Now I've decided I wanted to add some nuts here, but I already ran out of walnuts. So for this batch, I'm going to experiment with adding a bit of crushed pine nuts. So I'm crossing my fingers, and I hope it works out. Okay, so here are my crushed pine nuts. I just crushed them very, very roughly so that I have that texture when I eat my ice cream. Okay, so this is my ice cream mix that I've made, and now I'm going to put on the cover. If you notice, it's good for 1 pint, and there's still a gap until the edge, as you can see. And this is good because as the ice cream sets, it will expand and it will rise, so that gives the enough space or enough allowance for the ice cream maker to continue mixing. So this is the how do you call this, a propeller, a mixing arm for the ice cream maker. That's how it goes in. Ta-da. Then you lock it like so. Okay, and then there are 2 settings. This is for soft serve, and we're gonna go for regular ice cream. So I'm gonna choose this. Okay, so as you can see, I have already put in the cover. There are 2 settings. There is the soft serve and the regular ice cream. So this will churn, quote unquote churn, for around 1.5 to 2 hours until the ice cream hardens or thickens, and then it will auto power down. So that's what I like about this model. It's able to shut down automatically when the ice cream is ready. And then you're ready to scoop it out. And if you want it to thicken more, you can put it in the freezer and wait for around 2 hours. Okay.